Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I wanted to make a video talking about how to not get a copyright strike on your YouTube channel. Now, this video is intended for people who are thinking about creating their own YouTube channel or people who are just starting off on YouTube and are concerned or have questions regarding copyright and copyright strikes. And just a quick disclaimer: I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I know exactly how everything works on YouTube. But from a person who's been doing this for 4 years now and has yet to have one copyright strike, I'm going to share some of the pointers that I personally follow in order to not get a copyright strike on my channel. And I'm going to be talking about images and custom thumbnails, and then I'll talk about text and descriptions, and then I'll talk about like music, which is probably the largest source of concern when it comes to copyright and copyright strikes. And then I'll talk about like video games and how to make sure that if you do a let's play, you don't get a copyright strike. So first off, we're going to talk about images, which are probably the least thing you have to worry about when it comes to getting a copyright strike. Now, anytime that I make a video, I try to make a custom thumbnail where I'll upload a thumbnail and it will be different from the ones that YouTube will automatically generate from the video, and it comes with like three that YouTube automatically generates, and I'll make my own. And how I'll do it is that I'll Google search the topic I'm talking about, and I will basically take that image and then edit it and use it as my thumbnail, and then also add text. Now, the rule of thumb when it comes to images is that you never want to, when you're Google searching, take a thumbnail that another a YouTuber has used in their YouTube video and then upload it as your own. I would consider that one way to, get a copyright strike by using another YouTube channel's image or thumbnails as your own. And personally, I think that there's enough images on the internet in regards to every topic out there that it shouldn't be hard to use images that are basically just like publicly available. And also when it comes to covering like politicians and major events, usually like the news websites, they don't really care if you use a thumbnail from their website. I've never had an issue. But when it comes to the descriptions of a lot of my videos, I will use the information I get from some of the major news media sites, and I will basically, type out my own description, but then I'll put the source of my information in the description of the video to show you guys where I got my information from. So that usually works out for me as well. I avoid copying and pasting, text from a website, or actually sometimes I do that when it comes to like some of the let's plays I'm doing, but I will always source where I'm getting my information from. So like some of the like Fallout games I play, I will like copy from the Wikia, like the general description of the locations I'm going to be playing at, and then I'll source the Wikia article to where I got that information from. Now the main way that people receive copyright strikes from this channel, probably like 99% of the time, is from music violations. So like YouTube has a database of all the music and instrumentals ever created. I mean, or probably damn near ever created. And a lot of the major music companies, some of them will, depending on the artist, allow you to use that artist's music in your video. Some of them won't. Some of them will, take the AdSense revenue. It'll just basically come up as a claimed video, and you won't receive any money from, monetizing that video or whatever. It's just the the owner of that copyrighted music will receive it. I personally don't use any music from like major musicians or anything like that. The way that I use or the way that I find instrumentals or background music to use in let's say some of my top 10 videos is I use this one musician or artist or whatever. His name is Kevin McLeod or whatever. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name, and he's pretty much the largest what's the word I'm looking for, like royalty free composer on YouTube. He allows anyone to use his instrumentals for their videos as long as you cite that he is the person who created it and you put a link to his website in the description below. And I think that's a perfect a great marketing strategy, because I've seen YouTube channels with millions of views on single videos or across all their videos or whatever that have used his instrumental music, and his website probably gets a lot of traffic, and he probably makes a lot of revenue from using that model of doing business. And also moving on into video games. Now this is where you have to be like very, very diligent. You have to look up which publishers allow for you to monetize their videos or even make Let's Plays at all. Now a company like Nintendo, where they're basically trying to be greedy and force people to pay them part of their revenue for using their gaming content for their Let's Plays. I would just not make Let's Plays of Nintendo products. But in regards to, let's say, some of the other companies, it really just depends. You have to look up on their terms of use. You have to look up to see if they allow for people to upload their videos and make Let's Plays. Most of them allow for it, and most of them allow for you to monetize. But once again, you just have to look up on their website. And I'm going to put some links in the description below, sharing with you guys some like list of databases where you can see whether or not some of these companies allow for you to make Let's Plays. And another caveat to that is that anytime that you're making a Let's Play of a video game, I would always recommend that you turn off the music completely. Like, not even have it on like low or anything, just turn it off, and you more than likely won't run into any issues. I've personally made probably a couple hundred Let's Play videos on my channel, and I've never had an issue with that either. But once again, it's by me being diligent, looking up which game developers allow for you to make Let's Plays, which game developers allow for you to monetize your videos. And I've actually reached out to some of the video game companies that want you to email them, and basically they just want to have you like in a database of people who use their content for whatever purposes. And I pretty much haven't had any issue. The only companies that really don't like when people use their games for Let's Plays are companies or video game companies that are based out of Japan. I've heard a lot of people having issues with companies like Capcom and like other, like, even if the the companies, so some of the companies, they'll have like an American branch of it, and they'll have like the Japanese branch of it, and like the American company will, or the American part of the operations will say okay with it, or they're okay with it, but then the Japanese side of the company will say, no, we don't want you to upload footage from our video games. And so that's it's really up to you guys whether you want to take that risk or not. I personally I play it safe, and because it really sucks to know that if you have a copyright strike, if you get 3 of them, then your YouTube channel is gone. And that's why I always tell people to just be careful. If you're uploading footage from outside, make sure you listen to that footage and make sure there's no like car riding by with loud music that can trigger a copyright strike. Sometimes I've had to mute some of the video where that might have happened for like a couple seconds. But once again, it's just making sure that you look at every video you do and make sure there's no kind of like copyright infringing content. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I'll have a lot of information and links in the description, and that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Peace.